Yo, what's up? So the other day I came back home and my brother had his friends over, and he often memes me for all this Buddhism and spiritual stuff. So he kind of jokingly asked me if I could explain to his friend why reality is a dream instead of material. And I was like, well, if he really wants to hear that, he's genuinely curious, I can explain that, point to it. And he actually did want me to explain it, so yeah, and I kind of enjoyed explaining that. And I thought a lot of useful pointers arose that time, which are still sort of floating in my mind. So I wanted to make a video about it, basically trying to point at the fact that reality or existence or experience itself is more like a dream than some sort of material of the universe. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, so stay tuned, because we're going to go deep into this. Why am I out of focus? There we go. So yeah, first thing I want to get out of the way is matter, right? So what the common view of the world and reality is that there's this thing called matter. So we have atoms, particles, electrons, neutrons, protons, and they make up this stuff called matter, stuff we can touch, like this stick. And yeah, everything is material. It's made out of matter. And even our brains, they're just made out of matter, and our experience is just a chemical process in the brain. That's the common view, right? The common view of most people these days that are more scientifically oriented about what the universe is, what it's made out of. So now I'm gonna first try to prove that you can't prove it's material. So yeah, it's pretty simple. First of all, matter itself is just an experience. It's a sensation. If you feel something material, it's a physical sensation, but it's actually not physical, because sensations are non-physical. Even sights, they appear in the mind, right? So everything we know about matter is just a mental sensation. That's the first thing. Like, you can test this out yourself. Grab something physical, close your eyes. The feeling of that physical thing is a sensation, just like pain, just like whatever. It's mental, it's not physical. And the sights, well, according to science, they happen in the mind, in the brain, whatever. So all we experience of matter is non-material, right? And also, we cannot prove the existence of matter outside of consciousness, right? We can't. It's impossible. Any proof would arise within consciousness. Any experience of matter arises within consciousness. So matter cannot be, it's 100% impossible to prove the existence of matter outside of conscious experience, right? It's a part of the experience. It's not actually what the experience is. It is in the experience. Does that make sense? So that's why it's funny when science is trying to figure out how matter causes your subjective experience, because what if it's the other way around? What if your subjective experience causes matter? Now hear me out even further. So we can't prove matter. We can't. It's impossible. You cannot prove it. Science can't prove it. No one can prove matter. But we don't have to prove consciousness, can we? Because it's a fact. Why is it a fact? Because you're conscious. You don't need proof. You are living as a conscious being, as consciousness, right? So that's the funny thing, right? Matter can't be proven, and consciousness doesn't have to be proven, because it's a fact, because we're conscious, right? Nothing to do with free will or anything, just, that's also one of the reasons why I stepped more out of science, because I used to study biochemistry and go more into spiritual things, is because, well, there's often this, and I was an atheist, so there was often this thing like, you can't prove God, right? But matter is almost like God science, and you can't prove matter. So it's like shaky foundations when it comes to that. Yeah, okay, quantum physics is getting less mattery, but still, I'm just saying. But you know what spirituality actually sort of pays attention to is consciousness, right? It's awareness, it's knowing. It's the only thing that's factual about. The only thing we know is real is consciousness. Everything else could be an illusion, right? Everything else could be a dream. So that's the first thing. Matter, can't prove it. Consciousness, fact, right? Next thing, dreams. What are dreams? We've seen, everyone's dreamed, like some people have more intense or less intense dreams, but it's a fact that the mind or consciousness or whatever it is can simulate a material world. Because when you dream, you basically experience a point of view in a material seeming world where you have no idea what the other characters in the dream are thinking or they're gonna do, and you're just a POV, but it's all your mind's doing, right? You understand? So not only do we not have proof of matter, we have the fact of consciousness and the other fact that consciousness has been shown to simulate matter, the experience of matter, right? Because, yeah, okay, it seems material when you put sight into it, but if you close your eyes and just feel your body wherever, it's nothing more than a bunch of sensations, mental sensations. Everything you experience is, right? And we've seen consciousness simulate material world in your dreams, which is when you wake up, it's like, oh, it was just a dream. So if we pay attention to our experience, it becomes more and more dreamlike. And when you see, it's just like it becomes lucid. That's what some people call awakening. I'm not gonna put too strong labels on it. There's many ways you could describe it, but it's just seeing that reality itself is not as solid as you'd like to believe. It's not as material as you'd like to believe. And that also helps us with another problem science been having. And I'm not a science hater, it's a useful tool, don't get me wrong, but when it tries to explain reality, it kind of falls short. But the hard problem of consciousness, right? How does chemical, physical things translate to your subjective experience, right? And I'm gonna say it doesn't. There's just the experience. There's no experiencer, right? This is the no self thing, right? Your body, if you touch your head, it's a sensation, you can feel it. Obviously, whatever you're aware of is not you, right? Just like the eye can't see itself, everything the eye sees is not the eye, right? Everything the I, the me, sees is not me, right? So your body is a part of the experience. So there's no place where the translation of sensation happens as the experience. It's just patterns unfolding, and there's just the knowing of experience. If you genuinely look at your experience for long enough, like as it is, not as the mind explains it to be, right? Because the mind sees something and it calls it something. It's like a limitation, a label, right? It's basically like trying to wrap water in an envelope. We're trying to put something undefined into a definition, right? Existence itself is not defined. Labels and definitions try to limit things and define them. And then the mind sort of tells a story about what it sees. And because it goes so fast, it references the past, it looks to the future. Thoughts and feelings shift so fast. It's kind of like if I were to spin my hand in a circle fast enough, you would start seeing a circle. That's how this ego starts to form. There's just a pattern of memories, of referencing of referencing the past happening so fast in succession, you can't see that it's not being caused by anything. It gives this illusion of experience happening to someone, someone's story, someone's life. You know what I mean? I made videos on no self before. I'm not gonna get into that too much. But why existence is most likely a dream is just down to three simple facts. One, you can't prove matter. Second, consciousness is fact. Third, we have seen consciousness simulate matter. And yeah, that's the simplest explanation I can give. I could go super into detail on this, and I might make a longer video. But for today, that's all I wanted to say. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in another video. Bye.